Yeah, it's not trying not to get nervous, because that's what I did early on in my career. Is like I'm not going to get nervous this time. Mm-hmm. And then when you get nervous, it's automatically a negative thing in your mind, because you're like, crap, I'm nervous. Yeah. But like, just go ahead and accept like it's coming. Yeah. And just figure out how to shoot through it. And that's mainly like what I figured out over the years. Like, and that's where I think the competitive side really helped me. Is like I was forced to figure out how to perform through that, and what I did wrong in a lot of those situations, and learn from it. And that's what I think I would tell anybody, is just put yourself in those situations, because a lot of people want to practice in their backyard alone, but don't want people around. They don't want people watching them, And so when they feel those nerves for the first time, normally it's that animal standing in front of them, and they just totally freak out. So I'd say put yourself in those situations where you have to shoot nervous a lot.
Is that something, Ben, that you would tell like team sport athletes as well? You think that's a vital thing to learn as a quarterback or basketball player or baseball player?
Yeah, I think that's it's very wise. Like, embrace the nerves. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I think a lot of times, like he said, we tell ourselves, we tell people like, okay, you're getting nervous, don't get nervous, or minimize it or whatever. But it's a human. It's nature. It's human. Like you're gonna get nervous. But I think that's the best thing, is just how do you combat it? Yeah. How do you embrace it? How do you use it? Because that's the thing. If you can use those nerves, a lot of people I think nerves are bad, and they think it's a negative thing. But you can also use nerves and that energy for like good, and make yourself like extra focused or extra energized. Whatever your sport is, extra energized. Whatever it may be. So I think using nerves is important, or learning how to use your nerves. So like that's I love the way you say that. Like I need to probably do that in my hunting, because I always tell myself, like, even if I don't like doe hunting, why should I get Why should I get excited or nervous over a doe? It's like, it's not a big buck walking in, but you still do. It's just, I mean, for me, you might not.
100%.
You get nervous, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna practice on a doe, like a doe. Okay, use it, focus. But I don't. It's interesting.
Yeah,
like that.
That's interesting how you would practice that, because it feels as if it's something that you would just have to do when people are watching. Like you had mentioned this, I don't know if it was on the show, if we were just talking in conversation about in training camp, like at Latrobe, the Friday Night Lights, or when fans are there, like practice automatically gets a lot more juice. And so if you're practicing, like I would imagine if you're practicing techniques, that you'll use in competition, but you're doing it with hunting, but you're shooting a TV show.
Right.
Camera there is already going to juice up the nerves. I read something a while ago, and we would use it when we were training up like stage performers, is, you don't ever rise to the occasion, you fall back on your level of preparation. Does it feel as if maybe raising the stakes in your practice, maybe like instead of going to the driving range to work on something, maybe just go out and play in front of people to start? How would you get reps?
I think
the nerve,
making practice harder. I think I think, is it Kobe Bryant that said that, where he makes his practice a lot harder than the games? But I think that's, when your practices are harder than your games, or more intense than your games. And that's what I'm trying to teach my oldest son too, and just any of the sports, if you just take it easy in practice. And I was throwing in BP the other night, and I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to sit here and toss you just cake the whole time. You're just, you're not going to, when you face a fast pitcher in a game, you're going to freak out, So kind of the same deal for us in archery. We always try to make practices harder than what we're actually going to face, And like, I think I wrote an article on this not too long ago, but like if I'm going to a competition and 50 yards is the max I'm going to shoot, I'll practice the whole week before at like 80. Because then when you move back to 50, what is normally a hard shot, like if you just practice out to your max, like 50 always seems hard. Yeah. But like if you practice at 80 all week, then when you go to that tournament and you see a 50-yarder, you're like, I can't miss. It just seems so close. And where if that was as far as you ever practiced, it would always be hard.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, it's sunny.